What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Warport Gaming Channel. Dustin Smith here with you today to talk about EA College Football 25 Dynasty Mode. The details are starting to leak. We're starting to hear about some of the features that are going to be in this mode, and I'm excited to talk about them. Let's talk about length first. You're going to have 30 years on your Dynasty Mode. You're going to be able to have 32 user-controlled teams. That's offline or online. No cross-platform. So all Xbox on Dynasty Mode or all PlayStation. Some friend groups are really going to have some tough decisions to make. There's going to be some hard conversations that need to be had, right? I know that's definitely happened inside of my friend group. One ability that the last game had that you will have in this game as well, you can start off as an OC or a defensive coordinator. I know a lot of you guys are fired up about that because it gives you a realistic option, right? You're looking at it and you're saying, hey, man, I don't know any coaches that start off as Division I head coaches. You got to work your way up the ranks. This gives you the opportunity to do that. You can start off as an OC or a DC at a small school, show, hey, man, I've got what it takes. And then you can get that big time offer to be a head coach. So I like that a lot. It's something that I've done in the previous game. It's definitely a fun route to go. And it kind of gives you the ability to build up your skill tree. And let's talk about that. A new feature in this year's game, your coaching skill trees. So you're going to be able to pick between three archetypes: motivator, recruiter, or tactician. So let's say that you pick motivator. Well, you pick motivator, you're not going to be able to max out your abilities as a tactician or a recruiter. You're going to have to kind of pick and choose what you want to be good at. In the same way, say you created a quarterback on Madden. If you create a scrambling quarterback, well, he might not have all the abilities that a pocket quarterback might have, right? He's not going to have that Tom Brady pocket presence and be able to sit in the pocket in pressure and look downfield and throw a ball 50 yards on a rope. In the same way that if you create a pocket passer, he's not going to have the ability to get out and just blow by anybody with his legs. His speed can only go so high, right? Because you created a pocket passer. That's the archetype that you roll with. Same thing here. You create a motivator, you're not going to be able to max out his abilities in recruiting or as a tactician. So what can you do to build your program and offset that? Another new feature in the Dynasty Mode this year is your OC and your DC. You now have the ability to hire and fire staffs. You can poach them from other schools, or you can fire a guy and then just hire a guy out of a free agent pool. It's kind of up to you. But one thing that you need to keep in mind, similar to real life, if you fire your OC, well, the transfer portal is a thing now, right? You might have some guys enter the portal because they like playing for that OC. They like his play style and so on and so forth. So very intriguing. You're going to be faced with some very, very interesting decisions. One thing that's really cool about this, though, it gives you the ability to kind of offset what you're not good at, right? In the same way that a real head coach in real life, you maybe have a guy that's just a knockout recruiter. He knows how to get the blue chips in. Or you have a guy that's one hell of a tactician, but recruiting's not really his thing. He just wants to coach. He just wants to coach ball, man. Well, then you can hire you an OC that goes and recruits. You can get staff members that are good at the things that you're not good at, and you can build your program that way. Or if you're like, hey, I just want the dudes, hire you two coordinators that can go out and recruit. You can build this thing however you want to build it. This ability kind of gives you the option to create your program in your image, build this thing how you want to build it. Another really cool feature that we're hearing is going to be in the game is Team Builder. And when I saw this, I just thought, oh boy, we're never going to get tired of playing this game now. There's already over 130 Division I teams. There's no way you're going to play a 30-year dynasty with all those teams. You got unlimited options already. But now you can also create a team. If you're an old school football fan, you know, you just love football, you love football movies, you can go back and you can create Remember the Titans, and you can create the Friday Night Lights and the Varsity Blues, right? All those classic movies. It gives you the ability to create those teams. If you're like me and you have a local university that's smaller, like University of West Florida, that you can't put in the game, or that's not going to be in the game, excuse me, now you can put them in the game. I saw where Montana and I know North Dakota State, one of them, they put out on Twitter recently, hey, why aren't we in the game? Well, we can create you and put you in the game. And just like the last version of the game, you have custom conferences as well, right? You have custom conferences, custom schedules, so you can kind of create your own team and then throw them in whatever conference that you want to throw them in. So it gives you unlimited options. Let your imagination run wild. You can kind of do whatever you want to do with this here. So I'm very fired up for the team builder option. But what everybody wants to know is, how's recruiting going to work? how's the recruiting going to work? Because recruiting is the lifeblood of a college football program. And it was so fun in the last version of the game, battling out for those prospects. So what we're hearing is there's going to be 4,000 prospects in each year, and you're going to have 14 program pitches. So playing time, early playing time, proximity to home, playing style, coaching style, all those kind of things. And then you're going to have deal breakers. And this is important for everybody that wants to build up a small school. From what we're hearing and what we're reading, there's not gonna you're not gonna be able to say you pick Ohio. We'll use Ohio Bobcats as an example. You're not gonna be able to beat out Ohio State and Michigan for that 4-star tight end your first or second year. You're really gonna have to build up that program to get those kind of recruits because they're gonna have these deal breakers, and your program is just not gonna be able to overcome those deal breakers in its first couple of years until you really build it up to a powerhouse. They're just not going to look at you because they're going to have certain things that they hold in such high regard. That 4-star tight end you're trying to take from Ohio State, he's not going to do it. There are too many deal breakers for him that you can't overcome. So let's say that he wants to play in big time games, right? It's just like real life. He wants to play in big time games. He wants to be in a prestigious program. He wants to be in a prestigious conference and play a tough schedule and be on TV a lot. Or he wants to go to a program that puts players in the NFL. Well, until you put players in the NFL, until you get the Ohio Bobcats out of the MAC and you get them in the Big Ten, those are going to be deal breakers for that guy, and you're not going to get them. So it's not going to be like the old version where you take over Ohio and then in 2 or 3 years you're playing for the Natty. No. From everything that I'm seeing, you're really going to have to kind of build this thing up through recruiting. Also, hours. So I don't know the exact number, but let's say you're given 70 hours a week. You're going to get a certain amount of hours a week, and then you have to decide how you chop those up. Same thing that a real life coach has to face, right? You'll say you get 70 hours and you're in a tight battle for a left tackle, and you got to have him because, boy, you've just been getting sacked. You've been getting pressure off the left side. You got to get this left tackle. Got to be a part of your program. You got 70 hours and you got all these other kids too you got to fill a class out with, but you got to take some of these hours and focus on that guy. You're going to have to make tough decisions is what I'm saying. You're going to kind of have to go through, pick out which guy do I want more. Maybe you focus in on this guy, and then the other guy kind of looking at it and says, hey, and he goes somewhere else, and then you end up losing that recruiting battle. Very, very realistic, man. Just kind of really puts you in that line of thinking, puts you in that mode like you're a real life college football coach and you've got some tough decisions to make. So right now, obviously, I haven't played the game. It's all speculation. But EA continues to say that they understand that Dynasty Mode is the backbone of this community, and they've heard our feedback loud and clear. We're turning on this game, and this is the mode that we want to play. This mode has got to be right, and they've taken a whole lot of flack for franchise mode on Madden in the last couple of years, and I don't think they want to go through that PR nightmare with this hype of a game that hasn't been out in 11 years. So as hard as it is, I'm inclined to believe that EA is telling the truth, and the people that have gone and played Dynasty Mode and then came back and said, hey, it's pretty deep, they have no reason to lie to us. So I'm starting to become pretty optimistic that this is going to be everything that we hoped it could be, and it's going to be a game that we can play and just not get tired of. Because let's be real, our only other football option has been Madden, and there's only 32 teams in there. And if you've been playing it for a couple of years, you've done everything there is to do. You've won the Super Bowls with the teams that there isn't, have never won a Super Bowl before, and so on and so forth. Another thing that I'm glad I didn't forget before I get out of here, trophy room. The trophy room is back, baby. So for Dynasty Mode, this is an awesome feature. Because when you get 15, 20 years in, you're able to go back and look at all the bowl games you won. You're able to go back and look at all the individual awards that you won. You can go back and look at your conference championships, all your accomplishments. The trophies will be there. Every single rivalry game has its trophy in there. So you'll be able to go back and look at all that kind of stuff, all the records. You'll be able to go in and break all the records for schools, individual schools, and all the national records are in the game as well. So there's unlimited possibilities. There's unlimited records for you to break, championships for you to win. I love it. I'm really, really excited. I'm starting to really be optimistic about this. July 29th cannot come fast enough. Hey, if you like this kind of content, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. I'm Dustin Smith. I'm out of here, but I'll catch y'all on the next one.